Would you give your 8-year-old the keys to the car? Hey, go move it around the block. Would you let a 3-year-old plan the meals for your week? No? Yeah, same. Absolutely. So today we're talking about raising independent, healthy kids and why the kid who's yelling at you, "You're not the boss of me," actually needs you to be exactly that. Yeah. Welcome to Family in Focus. I'm Dr. Wendy Schofer, the pediatrician helping parents lead meaningful change without harm. Here we focus on the connection and practical shifts that help families thrive at every size. Let's get started. So, as a pediatrician in practice now for 22 years, my goodness, we need to talk about normal development. So, first of all, wanting to be the boss is normal. Kids want to be the boss. They want their voice to be heard. They want their desires known and, well, catered to. Absolutely, don't we all? It's developmentally normal that they'll let you know, well, exactly what they think and how they feel, which includes disappointment, frustration, irritation, anger, all of it. That doesn't mean that they're ready to make all the decisions or that you need to make all of your decisions about making them feel a certain way. They do not get to decide that we're going to have a charcuterie board of chocolates and chippies every night or mac and cheese with every meal. They need guardrails. And sometimes we call them boundaries, but I think of it as a structure, as a framework. So the second thing you need to know is that kids thrive within structure and framework. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to tell you that they love it, but structure is what kids need in order to thrive. It's what really helps classrooms do so well for kids. It's why kids do so well within classrooms. Developmentally, kids are looking forward to the repetition, to the routine, the expectations, knowing as well how adults will respond. They learn to trust our behaviors and our responses. That's really important for them. And there's a part here that's really easy to miss. So a kid who knows where your line is also learns where theirs is. So boundaries, they're not something that's created to contain children. It's really something that's created to teach them how to have their own boundaries. So how to have their own yes and their own no. And so if you can hear in the language here, this is where we're planting the seeds for kids developing bodily autonomy. That's where "you're not the boss of me" eventually grows into "I'm the boss of me." What we want all of our kids to be able to stand up and to be able to say when they are facing different pressures, when they are facing different situations, and we want them to be strong, independent individuals. So the third part that we all have to remember is that the meltdown that our kids are going to have, the meltdown is not the problem. So if you're thinking my kid is not trusting my no to mac and cheese, in fact, they're melting down over it, well, you're just observing their disappointment, their frustration in living color. Being calm and not melting down yourself, which is a real practice, by the way, that's what they're looking for. That's what they're depending on. That's how we signal safety to them. We're creating a safe space so that they can experience their emotions, even melt down over them, and it's okay. They are safe. When kids feel unsafe, well, they turn to other things for safety, and often we look at food. We turn to food for reassurance. So this is a big part of why we're seeing more disordered eating right now. Kids are experiencing a lot in their environment, in their world, a lot of disruption. And so they are looking for control, autonomy, safety. And through absolutely no fault of their own, they're growing up in a dysregulating world. So how can you help? All right. Thanks for asking. It's all about equipping yourself, to have the tools to be the calm in the storm, to be the calm in your kids' storm. Oh my goodness. No, it's not quite being the eye in the storm, but just being calm, taking a few moments, even a breath to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the calming side of your house. So it's also about being able to tag in help so that you can tag out when you need it most, because you can't be expected to be the calm presence all the time. You're human too. You have a roller coaster too, where, the roller coaster of emotions that kids are on. Well, sometimes we need to be able to express and we need to just tag out to be able to say, you know what, I need somebody else here. And the other thing you can do is to name what you're feeling out loud. Phew, I'm really overwhelmed right now. That helps you. Naming the emotion as just kind of like, oh, this is what's going on right now. And it also models the emotional regulation that your kids are slowly learning and developing. So when you're ready to focus more on building lifelong relationships with food and body, and especially each other for your family, that's exactly why Family in Focus exists. So you can learn more about working together on the website and in the show notes. So imagine for a moment, imagine if the next time your kid yelled, "You're not the boss of me," you didn't flinch. You stayed the calm. You held the framework, the structure, and they learned one meltdown at a time that your no is safe enough to trust, that you're not going anywhere. You're still going to be there with them, no matter what they're experiencing. That's a kid who's growing up learning how to create and set their own boundaries as well. Oh my goodness, the work we do ripples to them. Hey, remember, while I'm a physician, I am most definitely not your physician. So the podcast Family in Focus is for education and for social emotional skill building purposes. My goodness, please keep the relationship that you have with your physician and tell them about Family in Focus while you're at it. And so much love to you and your family. Remember, take what fits, leave what doesn't, and you are the parents. You are the parent leading change and help without harm.